Hello everyone, and welcome to a Q&A and the kind of chill and chat video that I haven't done in a very long time because I've been so focused on anime reactions, games that I've fallen behind on, started manga read-alongs again recently, but I was only able to start the manga read-alongs back up again because One Piece is on a break, right? So yeah, I used to do kind of like anime cast, like an anime podcast where I talk about the shows that I watch and all kinds of stuff, anime news. But time is limited. But I was in the mood for kind of like a chill and chat Q&A, and I just wanted to, there might be some new subscribers that haven't heard some things that I might have said in the past already. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do in this video. Just answer some questions and chat to the live chat, because in the live chat on Twitch we have Sotos, Luke is here, Booty, Modru, Cherry, Hunter, Antonio. I'm not sure who else might be lurking. Booty is probably still around. But yeah, welcome everyone, and thank you for your questions. My screensaver changed. Yes, this is a sparkle, or I think hanabi in Japanese, from Star Rail. So I recently was in the mood for a bit of a change. Actually, the it happened yesterday. I was reacting to Date Alive for Fansly. So on Fansly, I react to more itchy or those kinds of shows. Um, like, well, there's a bunch. I'm not going to get into it right now, but there's a character in Date Alive called Kurumi, I think. And yeah, I learned kind of like more about her powers in the episode yesterday. And it reminded me of this character because she does this thing with a gun where she kind of like shoots herself. And I just really love the trailer for this character, and I was like, maybe her character is a reference to that character. I don't know, but since that moment I was like, wait a minute, I need a new wallpaper. So I just searched 4K wallpapers and I got this on the Hoyo Lab website. So I think it's really lovely, and I like that it's kind of the color, because my last one was very yellow. So because my screen is quite big and bright, my computer screen, it actually influences the color of, like, look, if I open this, you see it changes the color. So I kind of like having this color background at the moment. What do you think about Date Alive? It's fun. I would think that as a game, if it was the same kind of game as Genshin or something, it would work so well. But as an anime, so far, I would say it's like a 7, a strong 7 out of 10. Some nice waifu, but not as good as some of the other ecchi shows that I've watched on there. Even shows that don't have that much ecchi, like um, Megami no Cafe Terrace isn't super lewd, but I really like that show. That would be an 8.5 to a 9 for me. And then there's other more lewd shows. I mean, we were just talking about Interspecies Reviewers, Prison School. I've reacted to a ton of great shows. And already I'm going off topic, but I've made this recently of the stuff that I watched in 2024. So I'm very excited to do kind of like the Anime Channel Awards again. And these were all the shows and the movies, including Fansly ones that I reacted to in 2024. These are not all seasonal shows, obviously, but these are just the shows I watched and some of the manga that I read this year, which I think is a pretty interesting topic. But I think that would be more for like an anime cast type video. So let me just go to the first question. I'll see I sorted it by from recent comments. So the first one is from Cherry, and she says, "I'm always asking you questions, but here is some more. If you were granted 3 wishes by a genie for yourself, you can't use it for world peace or something. What would they be and why?" So I already read that like 10 days ago when I made the post. And I did start thinking about it a little bit. So let's see. 3 wishes, but I can't ask for something like world peace. It has to be like personal stuff. I think the first one. Ooh. I just had good answers in my head earlier. I know that I would want a house. Like I want a. Oh, I want to win one of those. Did you guys ever watch those TV shows where a family wins something and then the TV people, they build them a house that's perfect for this family, like, and then the kids, it's so exciting to see the kids walk into their room for the first time, and it's like designed for their interest, right? And it's usually extreme makeover or something, home makeover. And I always wondered, how do these people pay the taxes? Because usually it was like a poor family or something, and then they got this amazing house. And I'm like, what about electricity bills, taxes on this house? Like, how do these people pay? But anyway, if I take my mortgage right now, I could probably pay, if they can just build me the house, I'll take care of the taxes. So I would really love that, because so basically what my first answer is, my first wish would be to win that extreme makeover thing. And then I want a house that has like a multiple bedrooms. Like I want 5 bedrooms at least, plus I want a perfect stream room, like just all my figures in little rows, like on shelves, perfect shelves with and a manga bookshelf. And so yes, and then I want an art room that has space to paint and to make clothes and to learn how to play the piano. And I want stuff on the wall that the cats can run on. And I want a big kitchen and a big garden with flowers. So that's my number one. That's a waste of a wish. You could win the lottery and build your own house without going on TV. No, but I want to answer with things. If I ask for unlimited money, it becomes a different kind of. Then I don't need to wish anything. I could just ask for unlimited money and tell you for the rest of the video what I would do with my money. I wanted to give more fun answers. So I want to win extreme makeover, and then I want my whole house to be redone, and I want a big garden and a big yard, and I want high fences so my cats can only have fun in the yard and in my house where they can run on the walls. And I want, like, my living room has to be one of those home cinemas where I can watch anime, as well as The Mentalist, which I'm currently watching. So yeah, I would definitely want, number 1, to win extreme home makeover and get my dream house. Number 2 is I would like my body to only need 4 hours of sleep per night, because I can't really wish for more time. I think that's like, how do you have 30-hour days? No, just sleep less, right? And there's a wish you could be proud of, Sotos. So at the moment, I feel like my sleep schedule is a bit, not gonna get into it, but my wish would be for my body to only need 4 hours of sleep every night. Like I go to bed at 3 a.m., I wake up at 7 a.m., and then I have a day, you know? That gives me so much more time, which I need, but it's not like an unrealistic wish, cause, you know? I love that. Realistic kind of answers are the best. Else you could just have infinite amount of money and energy. Yeah, like, it's like those people who say, if I had 3 wishes, I'd use my first wish to wish for more wishes. Like, no, be reasonable. It doesn't, I mean, it's a magical wish, but still, be reasonable. So, okay, extreme makeover for my house. Needing less sleep, like just being able to, I do love sleep, but 4 hours is enough. As long as I have 4 hours, that's enough. And then I wake up and I have 4 to 6 extra hours each day where I can do other things that I want to do, like art and anime podcast and more anime and going for beach walks and all kinds of stuff. I'd have so much more time. That would help me immensely. And then I considered making my third wish to be pregnant because it's been 3 years. But I feel like there is a specific time where when it needs to happen, it'll happen. So I don't want to make the wish because I want that to happen naturally, as you know. So I'm not going to wish for that. It'll happen when the time is right. So if I had to use my third, I would either, this is a tough one because now there's two things that I want. I think I have a way to get both things with one wish. But I don't know because, so here is my dilemma. I want to wish to be fluent in Japanese, but I also want to be an amazing artist, right? I want to be able to draw really well. But I could just wish to be smarter and then learn those things and like good focus. But if I wish to be smarter, will it change my personality? I'm worried about that. So I think I would wish to be a great artist because I can take my time to learn Japanese slowly. I don't need to know it overnight. But it would be so cool if I just woke up one morning and I was like really good at drawing and painting, and yeah, I would make so much fan art of all my favorite ships. You guys would never see the end of Natsu and Lucy art. And Luffy and Vivi art. No, I'm joking. I probably would make like one or two of that. But I would make so much fan art. It's not even funny. If I was really good. But I'm getting there. I'm practicing very, very slowly. So yeah, I would take my time to learn Japanese. But those are my 3 wishes. Cherry, thank you for your question. Extreme home makeover. Needing only 4 hours of sleep, and be a brilliant artist overnight. Actually, wishing to be smarter will save you the sleep because scientists have said the more IQ you have, the less sleep your body. Yes, you are a good example of that, right, Sotos? That's weird though because I don't think I got any dumber with time, but I didn't always need as much sleep as I do nowadays. So I Sanji and the pudding art. Yes, I would make so much Sanji and the pudding art. Okay. You have another question here. A hobby or skill you wish you started learning as a child and kept going until now, except drawing and playing the piano. Learning languages in general. Like, I was always very interested in learning English as a kid, and I spent a lot of time on that, obviously. But I wish that, I had just learned more languages than just English, including Japanese. That would have been nice. So that's a skill I wish I'd started learning as a child and kept going. And kind of linked to that, writing. I used to write a lot, stories, poems, and I just completely stopped. So I would have liked to kind of keep... I even wrote some... What was it called? What is that stuff called? When like you like an anime or fan fiction. Yes, I even liked to write some fan fiction as a kid, but I just stopped writing. Who or what inspires you? Well, I mean, a lot of anime and characters, obviously. The first one that comes to mind is Luffy. But I think what inspires me most is just the creativity behind art in general, anime, manga, games, people who make stuff. Like, wow, you really... But I think there's a lot of stuff like people who just do something and then they go beyond. Like everyone lives their life and does their work, but some people, I don't know, they put everything into it and then they make something special, and that's cool because whatever your interest is, if you work hard enough, I think that you can. I mean, you might not become world famous, but you'll make a difference, and I just like the idea of that. People that make something, whether it's a game, whether it's writing an anime, singers, like people who dedicate their life to something. Like even my dad, he works so hard, and that has, I don't know, people who just they do something with all of their might. That inspires me. Okay. I hope that's an answer. I don't know if that is an answer. it I'm more dumb than a rock. I just force my body not to need sleep. I was just joking, Sotos. You're a smart boy. Don't worry. So does that answer your question? Any follow-up that I could phrase better? If there had to be like a specific person, like if I had to mention a real life person who inspires me, Oda? I mean, the story that he's created in his lifetime, in one lifetime, he's been able to write that. That's inspiring as fuck. I read a lot of inspirational books that and just books that kind of remind you to be grateful for things, to focus on the good in your life rather than the bad, but not ignore the bad. But those kinds of books make me feel excited about every day. So maybe that's another answer. But other than Oda, I don't really have any specific person. I think it's just like general ideas, beliefs, ways of living. How does it feel being so young? Sotos. So for those of you that don't know, Sotos wait, he didn't lose a bet. I reacted to a show he wanted me to react to, I think, and then he said for a year or two he's not gonna call me old because that's his joke. I call him short, he calls me old. Great choices. Art inspires me the most too, and books or a well-written story. What? I said young. Yeah, but I know what you meant. How are the family plans moving forward? This is from Sir Masao. I remember you told us 1 or 2 years ago that you were trying for a baby. Is this still the plan, or have other things taken priority? It's still the plan. When I was in high school-ish and I was getting serious with my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband, I did think, I want a kid and the house and the blah, blah, blah. But it was very much, I wanted it because that's what you were told to want. But then we broke up and I kind of went through an existential crisis. And I was like, what the fuck is life even? Who am I even? So there was like a whole, and then for a long time, I didn't care about relationships. I didn't care about kids. I just wanted to figure out my own life and what I want to do with it. And eventually I got to a point where, I was doing what I love and earning money. I could, pay rent and whatnot. So from the time when we started dating again, the first 3 years was a little difficult, like I said. Work, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole story there. That's a video for another day. But like I said, okay, eventually we made it to a point where we could afford rent and have some money to save and so on. And that's when around the same time, we were like looking at each other, kids, huh? Kids. So then we started thinking about having kids. And at first, we weren't really trying, like officially, but we just weren't not trying. So after about 6 months, I got a bit more serious, or 6 months to a year, I got a little bit more serious, where I actually started to like check, okay, period, ovulation test. And we even went for like a checkup to make sure everything was good. Overview. Seems like everything was good. But I've never been, like Monica and Chandler, when they were trying to have kids in Friends, they were like going at it all the time. And she was like, okay, I'm ovulating, let's go. And then they do it like 3 or 4 times a day and blah, blah, blah. Like I've never been like that. Like I do roughly check my ovulation when I can. But you can't actually pants off Bing. You can't, apparently you don't stand a better chance to get pregnant if you do it more than once in a day around that, like, but I don't know how true that is, because it makes sense to me, like, yeah, you should have a better chance. But anyway, so I've never, because people tell you don't stress about it, when you stop trying it'll happen, but what the fuck, that's weird advice, like just stop trying. Okay, I'll stop wanting to have kids. But I get what they mean. They mean don't stress about it, don't overthink, don't over-try. And I've never over-tried, but I also can't just stop. So I've just, went about my business for the most part. Sometimes I get sad, why hasn't it happened? But for the most part, I'm chill. If I ever find a woman and we try, never let her know more than once per day doesn't change stuff. I'm sure Hanko would like to prove that theory wrong and try it many times a day. I mean, it's not like we haven't. But, I mean, life is busy, man. Who has time for multiple times in a day? Like, that's rare because God. It's busy. Life's busy. So yeah, anyway, my answer to the question is family plans. You can't really plan that 100%. You kind of have to just let it happen. I am not interested in anything like at this time, never say never, but at this time I have no interest in like IVF or all those other kinds of things. I don't want injections or nothing. Hopefully it will happen naturally, or I've thought about adoption, but I don't like the idea of someone coming to my house and like checking if can I have a child, or are you grown up enough to have a child? Like do I look grown up enough? Do you think someone will allow me to have? No, I'm joking. Fucking Sotos' boa figure that her top comes off, You think I'll have to lock this room and then, no, there's nothing in here to see, Mr. Adoption person. No, I'm not really interested in adoption at this time, because I think it's stressful and it makes something that's already difficult even more difficult, because the kid's gonna grow up and maybe they want to see their real parents, and then my heart will be broken and I'll die of sadness. No, I'm joking. But there's a lot of complications, and I just prefer, while I still have time, I'm gonna try and have my kids, and then we'll see how it goes from there. But yeah, it's not really something you can plan for too much. If your YouTube channel didn't succeed, what were you planning to do? This is coming from Sleek Seal, and he has an Aaron profile picture. No, I'm joking. I feel like that question could have a longish answer, but I'll try and summarize it as best as I can, just to give you an idea of what I might have been doing if it wasn't for YouTube working out. So after school, I studied to be a teacher, but I didn't do a teaching course. I studied BA Language and Culture, and I was going to do that for 3 years, get my BA thingy, and then I would do like a 1-year teaching course. So I was going to, major in English, and then I was going to do a teaching course, and then I was going to teach English. My goal was to teach high school, but thinking back now, I was like, no, no, I'm so thankful I never did that. If anything, right now, I'd want to teach primary school kids or, younger. Uh, but I don't think teaching, I don't know if I could be a teacher, but I do like English a lot. So that would have been one option for me. I would have gone in that direction. But I think that would have been fine. But because I didn't really think about it and I wanted to study because that's what everyone else was doing. So I basically just studied the first thing that I could get a bursary for because it's really expensive to study and my parents didn't have the money. So I needed what is it called? A bursary? I don't know the other word for it. So yeah, I just studied something that I could get in for and I could get sponsored for basically. Which actually was a good direction for me, but I wanted something that I chose for myself because yeah, so eventually I ended up dropping out 7 weeks before my final exam. Yes, a scholarship. So about 7 weeks before my final exam I dropped out and I didn't want to go back home. So I ended up working as a waitress for a while and I worked in a hair salon where my boyfriend at the time was working. Well, he owned the salon. So I liked the idea at the time of, life coaches. I was thinking that I could combine, like, do inside out makeovers, like, make a person feel good on the outside. And as you're doing their hair, you're doing their makeup, you're working out an eating plan for them, a workout schedule. Like, I could also work on the inside, like help them figure out what they want to do because I felt that would have helped me a lot. Maybe I can help others do the same thing. Like make them feel good on the outside, make them feel good on the inside. So I had this idea in my head about doing inside out makeovers and I was studying hair for a year and I finished. But before you can become a qualified hairdresser, you have to do a certain amount of practical hours. Um, and me and my boyfriend broke up again. Hi, Vasilis. So I did work after finishing and breaking up, I went back home. I stayed with my dad because him and my mom split. And I did work in the salon for a while, but it was nothing like I imagined. I had no time with clients to ask them about, what they want, how they feel. Like it was money, like in and out, in and out, in and out, fast. So eventually I just did not love that. And I was trying to study life coaching and get actually certified. I'm not sure how you can get certified with life coaching, but I guess. So anyway, so I was studying that on the side. And then I moved to Durban for the first time. And someone was starting a business. And it was about basically life coaching for kids. So and making connections. So people, how to say this? But it's when they're 17 or 18 years old, you start working with them, figuring out what they want to do, aptitude tests, and then the business is well connected and kids kind of like figure out what they want to do and you help them. That was his business plan, but he went bankrupt and stopped paying me out of the blue and I couldn't pay my rent. And then I had to move back home. But during that time, I started doing YouTube videos again. Because I did YouTube videos in my last year at university. I started doing YouTube videos because I just wanted to explore like what it was like. But eventually when I dropped out and I started working, I didn't have time. So then I kind of revived my channel during this time where I was studying life coaching and everything. I revived my channel. And then I started with vlogs, but then we ran out of money for vlogs. So I asked the viewers, what do you guys want to see? So you guys know the story, right? They asked for Eurovision reactions, RuPaul's Drag Race reactions, K-pop reactions. So I reacted to a bunch of stuff. I started playing games and live streams. I played Sims and other things. I don't remember what. And we just talked and we had fun with people. And then I got back into anime, and I was watching so much anime that I decided I'm going to make a separate channel for it. And that kind of blew up. I think also during COVID, a lot of people were home and watching YouTube videos and live streams. And so I ended up shifting all my focus to the anime channel because that was something I was really passionate about. And yeah, then here I am. So I'm telling you all of this to kind of give you an idea about the things that I've done and enjoyed and where I ended up. I'm happy that I can do anime reactions and live streams, and I can connect with people from all over the world. It makes me really happy. But your question is, if this didn't work out, what would I do? So clearly, you could tell I don't know. I was doing a lot of things. But if I had to choose, I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. Yeah, I'm happy it worked out. I do. If I had to choose from all the stuff I was doing before, maybe I'd want to teach English or teach in general, but I'd want to teach primary school kids or younger. I don't want to deal with high school kids. Too much drama. So yeah, probably that. Or, online English classes is a big thing. If I was younger, I'd probably have loved to go teach English in another country. Stuff like that, I guess. But I'm just super, super happy that I'm doing what I'm doing. So yeah. People were defending Hanku that you bullied him and he can't talk. Yeah, because he's not really a YouTuber type. So I ended up talking a lot, and they thought that I didn't give him a chance to talk. Yeah, because we were doing YouTube together back then. Why can I see you as a philosophy teacher at a private school? I don't know. A private school, rich kids? Oh, thank you, Vasilish. Gosh, no, I don't think maybe if I learned how to philosophize properly, like I had philosophy for 3 years, but I mean, in order to teach philosophy, you need a PhD or something, right? You need to be good. So at this time, I can't imagine actually teaching philosophy because I can barely philosophize myself. Like my thoughts are all over the place, going that way, that way, that way. And if you're a teacher, you need to be like this. So yeah, I don't think I could do that. Kella will thrive in a debate class. No. Don't undersell yourself. No, I'm not. I can teach English. I just think philosophy, like, it's too... Because I'm still figuring things out myself. How do you teach people something that can't really be figured out? There is no answer. You just... So... You see, this is what would happen in class. But I get it. The whole point of a philosophy, you're not really teaching people what to think. You're teaching them how to think. So I get it in that sense. I could probably do it if I had a little bit more learning in that area, but I don't think I have enough learning in that area. That's all. So what I'm saying is, right now, I can't imagine it. So thank you, Sleek Seal, for the question. If your YouTube channel didn't succeed, what were you planning to do? Oh, technically, my dad told me, because when that guy went bankrupt and I had to move in with my dad again. At that time, I started doing YouTube again, and I started making like a business plan, like if I did YouTube full time, how would it work? How would I make money? Like I had the proper business plan. So when I moved back in with my dad, I kind of sat down with him and I showed him the plan. And I said to him, if you give me 1 year, I can make this work. And he honestly he didn't even care about my business plan. He was like, whatever, if it doesn't work, you're going to teach. You're going to finish that. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Thankfully it worked though. So I would have ended up probably a teacher. But I'm really happy to be here. Thank you guys. Oh, Napa TTV, thank you for the raid. Welcome. We're doing a Q&A. You can turn off the sub-only chat mods for a while, I hope. But yeah, we're doing a Q&A for those of you that just joined. I'm answering some questions from my YouTube. Let's see. This one is from Otaku Master. He says, first question, does Hanku snore like an adorable panda or a furious lion? Hanku does not snore, but apparently I do. But he says it's not really snoring. It's more like I have difficulty breathing while I'm sleeping, which I might need to get checked out. Maybe have sleep apnea or something. But he says it's like I breathe like or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, so I can't tell you if he snores because I don't ever really hear him sleep because he wakes up before me. Second question, is Hanku secretly a robot you programmed? No. Third question, is Hanku's codename The Hanku or Hankool? It's Hank-Uwu. And fourth, and most importantly, am I spelling Hanku's name correctly or is it spelled Hank-Oo? No, you're spelling it correctly the first time, Hanco. And just a fun side note, for those of you that haven't heard me say this a million times, I really love explaining this. Let me just show you. It's easier to show you. Excuse my terrible handwriting on the computer. So Hanku is the oldest of 3 brothers, right? Hanku's name is spelled like this, but that's his, in Afrikaans, it would be his noemnaam, like calling name. This is what we call him, but it's not his official name on his birth certificate. So his full name would be Johannes Cornelius. Okay, so if you take the HAN from Johannes and the CO from Cornelius, that turns into HANCO, Hanku. That's how his name came about. He has 2 brothers. The middle one is called Cornu. So it's the COR because the names are family names. So they all have like my dad's name is Johannes Frederik David. So JFD, but everyone just calls him Johan or Mace. Mace is Afrikaans for mouse because when he was a kid, he was playing rugby and he was really small and fast. He wasn't small as in short. He was just skinny and he zipped through everyone like a tiny mouse. I don't know. Something like that. So usually that's what happens in Afrikaans families. You get these long family names, but you end up with with whatever nickname. So I don't really know his full names, but I think Cornelius is one of his names. So it's the COR from Cornelius, and then I don't know. And then his youngest brother is called Franku. So I think his full name is Philip something. But anyway, where I'm going with this is a long time ago, I decided that when I have a son, I want his name to be, oh, fuck's sake. No, that's not going to be his name. His name's going to be Johannes. And instead of Cornelius, I'm going to make his name, his middle name or his second name, Luffy. Because I can take the HAN from Johannes and the LU from Luffy, and his nickname or his usual name can be Hanlu, which is a normal name in South Africa. I mean, you can tell it's a normal name by these names. Look, Hanku, Kornu, Franku, Hanlu. So I thought that would be super adorable, and especially because in Afrikaans, which is my home language, derived from Dutch, by the way, there's a word called liefie. It means like my little love, lovey, something like that. So Leafy and Luffy sounds very similar because I'd probably end up calling my kid, hello, my Leafy, or something like that. Sounds similar to Luffy. So I just thought that would be really cute, and it matches the whole aesthetic here. Hanku, Kornu, Franku, Hanlu. If I had a daughter, I'm not sure yet, but the one that is always stuck was Layla, because Kayla and Layla. Luke says Leafy, my love. That can be the word of the day, but it would be more like my little love, because Leafy is something small, like my Leafy, like my little love. I would say that is a better translation. But I also recently really started to like the name Jenny. I'm kidding. If you've been part of my One Piece manga read-alongs, you'll understand. Anyway, but yeah, Layla, Hanlu, these are the names that I like. So since 4 of those questions were all about Hanku, I thought that that would be a fun fact to share. This person says, I used to be a cat in my past life. Me too. Okay, then I got some questions that I screenshot from Instagram as well. Let me just find the screenshots. Here. There's not that many because I only screenshot a few and then I forgot to go back. You know when you have a story and it's only available for 24 hours? I forgot to go check. But anyway, these are the questions that I saved. The first one is from Jay Gala. Do you ever rewatch anime? Not often because I don't have time. There's so many shows that I haven't seen yet. But I did rewatch Samurai Champloo once and Oran High School Host Club. And I would rewatch those again. But it's mostly a time thing. If I had time, I would be rewatching One Piece right now. Luke asked, besides anime, what is your favorite Hollywood movie? Well, I love all the Harry Potter movies since I was a kid. I love the books too. But a movie that used to be my favorite when I was 15 or 16, it always comes to mind when people ask me for my favorite movie. What is it called? Stardust, I think. I really liked this movie when I was a kid. I don't know what about it, but it was so fun to watch. And the acting was fun and it was just interesting and sweet. I really love this actress a lot. Yeah. Do Disney movies count as Hollywood movies? Yes. American Pie? No. I mean, I wouldn't make that my choice. So I really liked Stardust as a kid. Other movies that I really like. besides Harry Potter. Well, when I went to Japan, I rewatched, what's the movie with, it's a Harry Potter movie, but it's not Harry Potter. Incredible Beasts and Where to Find Them. That was great. I really enjoyed that. I love Disney films, especially like the original ones, like Cinderella and Snow White, Pocahontas. I really used to watch those films a lot. But more recently, Moana. I love Moana, Frozen, but I haven't seen Frozen 2. I love Disney movies most of the time. Incredible Beasts. I thought you were going to say The Incredibles, and I was like, yes, Pixar. I love those too. I, in general, love movies, TV shows. I mean, you can tell by what I do for a living, right? You really enjoy magic movies, and yet neither of your wishes was for you to be a wizard, Harry. That's like wishing for more wishes, though. But that would be cool, like having a wand and getting to do spells like make my bed. That would have been cool. Thank you for the question, Luke. What is your major in university and what was your dream to study? I never really had a dream to study. I just went to study whatever I could afford, as I said earlier. But I majored in English. So for the first, I studied for 3 years, almost 3 years. The last few weeks before my exam is when I dropped out. But I got a fright. I think Paige screamed downstairs. But yeah, I studied for 3 years. The first year I had 5 subjects. The second year I had 4 subjects. And the third year I had 3 subjects. So I would say that my major was English. I started with Afrikaans and Netherlands, so Afrikaans and Dutch. That was one of my subjects. I had Mandarin. I had English, philosophy, and psychology. So after my first year, I dropped Afrikaans and Dutch, which is one subject, because Afrikaans is derived from Dutch. After my second year, I dropped Mandarin. So my last year, I was studying English, philosophy, and psychology, but I struggled the most. I struggled the most with psychology because there was I don't know what you call it, an elective or something. Statistics, that bitch of a mother. That's probably the reason why I should be grateful, because statistics is probably the reason why I ended up actually quitting. Because since my very first year at university, I was telling my dad that I don't want to study. I don't know what I want to do. I want to come home. And my dad was like, please, just finish. It will be so good to have something behind your name. Because my dad, he dropped out of high school, and obviously he would value studying a lot because it's something that he could never do. And he loves math, and I think that's something he wished he could have done. So he didn't force me, but he really wanted me to continue, so I did. So I continued for up until my third year, but it caused a lot of anxiety. And in my third year, the straw that broke the camel's back, it was statistics in psychology. I don't know why that is a subject within a subject, but I hated it because it had numbers. And for 5 years, I wasn't studying numbers. Philosophy was about writing essays, and English was about reading books and writing essays, and Mandarin was about writing, little speeches and practicing with your friends and going to cultural events. And I did Tai Chi, and then suddenly they wanted me to remember numbers and sums. I was like, no. And it broke I gave up after that. And I was like, yeah, no. this is not for me, and then I dropped out. But obviously it was more than that. It was just that was the last straw. And I think the only reason another reason why I didn't drop out earlier, because I didn't want to go back home with my tail between my legs. I felt like kind of ashamed. So in my final year, he wasn't a boyfriend, but he was kind of like a boyfriend. And he told me, if you want to drop out, you can come stay with me, and you can work at my parents' restaurant and at my salon, because they were like a family that had two businesses. They had just started a restaurant. They sold a very successful business in another state, and then they moved there to start a restaurant and a hair salon on the side. So I was kind of working at the hair salon during the day and at the restaurant in the evenings. And that's when I eventually started studying hair and blah, 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 blah. For a very short time, a guy that I met at the restaurant who inherited his dad's business, he wanted me to be his personal assistant, but also kind of like life coach. But at that time I had zero training. I just knew that I wanted to do life coaching and study hair and do inside out makeovers. Like, that was just an idea in my head. And this guy was like, cool, you can be my personal assistant. And then for like a week, I was driving around with him, like personal assisting him and helping him make a vision board and stuff. And that, I had no training, so it just freaked me out. And I just said, wait. I can't do this. But that was quite interesting. I've done so many things. Kayla be like, what do you mean 9 times 3? Would you be instead in this crane yoga pose? I did do yoga at that time. And I did some Tai Chi. I went to the gym a lot. Because I was sleeping less. I had more time on my hands. My favorite movie from Hollywood, I would say, is Fury. It was a military film that blew me away when I watched it 10 years. At 10 years old. Wow. Kayla was busy, 2 jobs. Great for you. I remember started working in debt collection, my first job. 2 jobs, I wouldn't say it was great. It was exhausting. But it was fun because, when I was working at the restaurant, I was working with my boyfriend's sister, and I really looked up to her for a while. And when I was working at the hair salon, I was working with my boyfriend, so that was quite interesting. But then, just extra information, I guess, since we're on the topic, because we were working together, living together, when she got a boyfriend, the 4 of us became very close. So we would do a lot of things together. We would work together. On our off days, we would go to the beach together or go hiking, whatever. They were very busy people. But then, since your lives are very intertwined, yeah, it ended badly. Let's just put it that way. I won't get into the drama. Recommend your favorite movie. From recently, since we already talked about movies that we like, let me see. I watched a lot of good movies this year. Godzilla -1, Young Frankenstein, which is an old movie, but it's hilarious. That Kong Skull Island. I watched so many movies. What else did I watch? Inception. I would say when you get into, like, when you're looking for a movie to watch or something, get into like a genre, or, don't just watch a movie here, watch a movie there. Have like a little project. Like, I want to watch all the classics of this genre. And then you start with like the top voted ones. And then, I don't know, watch a few in that genre. Don't just jump around, right? And at least that's how I would go about things. Like, for example, kaiju movies. Watch kaiju movies from the very first one. That would be a fun journey. Or Marvel in chronological order. Watch Marvel movies in chronological order. Watch Disney movies from the first one. Something like that. If I would recommend something, I would say make a project of it. I like projects and schedules and lists and stuff like that. So, and collages. Phoning people to tell them to pay their debt. I learned people can swear a lot about debt. Wow, Luke. Let's see. Where can I buy tunics? What's a tunic? This is a video game. You can buy tunic on Steam. Save 50% now. Or do you mean tunic clothing? You could buy it on Superbalist. But I mean, any Google will tell you. I don't know. Sorry, I don't wear. They look like normal t-shirts. I don't know. Damn, I want to watch some old Disney movies like Sinbad and Mulan. Mulan was a good one. You know what movie I recently rewatched? And even if you're not like religious, it's such a good movie. The Moses animated movie, Prince of Egypt. Like, even if you're not religious, this is a good movie. The music and the characters and the animation, I really liked. I watched this for my birthday this year because we went to we stayed at a house somewhere for 2 or 3 nights, and we didn't have any DVDs, just that and another one that didn't work, and I had a One Piece film read, but it was in German dub or Japanese with no subs, no English subs, or the subs would be in German. I don't know why. Sadly, someone sent it to me. Wait, Modri, you were the one who sent it to me, right? And it was bought on Amazon, English Amazon, but for some reason it sent me the German one. So it had German dub or Japanese, but with German sub. So I couldn't watch it. Anyway, so all I had was Prince of Egypt. So I took that, and we ended up watching it for my birthday, or the night before my birthday or something. Anyway, no, it was the night of my birthday. And I just was reminded, wow, this is a good movie. It's not a question. Blah, blah, blah. Not going to ignore that. I'm not going to read that. And then Jerome Palapal says hi. So, yeah. That is more or less all the questions. And while I'm here in my screenshots, and my photos, I want to share some of my art, because I told you guys I'm trying to learn how to draw again and practice, but I'm more interested in the painting aspect. Painting is more fun to me, but if you don't have a good drawing, you can't paint. So I've been mostly trying to just draw some Pokemon so that I can practice my painting, because Pokemon are pretty easy to draw. I mean, not easy, but easier than drawing fan art, right? Because like I tried to draw a character from Itchy the Witch as a Harry Potter student, and it was really, really tough. I couldn't do it, but I tried. So anyway, then since this was too difficult for me, I tried to just focus on drawing some Pokemon, and I did a pencil color and a watercolor, and I enjoyed watercolor so much. So there. And so yeah, I'm just gonna, while I'm here, I'll share some of my watercolors with you guys. Or maybe I should do that kind of video that PewDiePie did where he was like, I drew every day for a year. Those were I watched the first one. Wait, first he drew every day for a month. Then he drew every day for, there was 3 videos. Every day for a month. Something. And then it was 365 days. So I loved watching his first video because he went through his sketchbook and showed everything from when he just started on day 1 to how he ended. So maybe I should save my artses and then finish a book, and then I can make a video showing everything, right? That could be fun for a separate video. What do you guys think? Anyway, it has officially been an hour. I wanted to keep this at an hour, so I think since I finished the questions anyway, this is about a good time to stop. I'm going to be reacting to Tower of God tonight, but if you have any other questions, make sure to ask it in the comments. Does anyone in the live have any last question before we start with Tower of God, which I have been reading, by the way. Since I'm not reacting to Tower of God on YouTube, I thought I would say that I started the manhwa on the Webtoon app, and I read it from the first chapter up to chapter... it's not loading. Okay, wait, there it is. Maybe chapter 37. So I'm still in season 1 in the manhwa, but it's been really nice. So I haven't had much time to read recently, but season 2 is okay. Not as good as season 1, but still fun. But at least it inspired me to read the manhwa, so I'm having a lot of fun with that. I have a Genshin related question, but I'm going to ask those in a Genshin video. Okay, you can save that for that video. When am I going to do Genshin again, though? Sunday? After Spy Family movie reaction? Hopefully. I still haven't watched that, so this is good night for me. Hope you will have a wonderful night. Thank you, Sotos. Have a good sleep. You should watch it. Cook for a restaurant, and then I worked in a hotel for a while. And then you were in the army, and then I don't know what happened. Then you started working for a guy, and he took advantage of you, and you just kept working, and he wasn't paying you, even though his wife was rich, and he wasn't struggling, but you were struggling. Those were tough times, Sotos. Those were tough times. If I were you, I understand why you can't be hung up on him paying you the money he owes you, because you can't be hung up about something like that because it'll eat your soul. But you still work for him, and you still like do him favors when you don't owe him anything, but he owes you. That still grinds my gears to this day, and it's not even me. Me. You know what's another video I should make one day? All the series, my favorite series, like Western series. Because I watch a lot of Western shows. When I have dinner, I don't always want to read subtitles. Although I do put subtitles on even when I'm watching something in English now. Because sometimes the people mumble, and then I'm like, what did you say? Well, that was after I finished the army. Before the army, I only worked as a farmer. I chopped 2 tons of wood per day to sell and have sheep and goat and stuff. Sotos the farmer! I love that image. I love it. That's cool. You should come to South Africa and buy a small farm and do that. Okay, well, thank you for watching my Q&A. I hope you guys had fun. I should probably have a... Wait, I need a thumbnail. What will I put as my thumbnail? I need a... Help me look cute for my thumbnail. Wait. Okay. He turned to Vinland Saga. You know, one question I get a lot is, what's your favorite anime? So before I end, let me just show you. I have to redo this, and maybe I should do a video talking about it. But you can go onto my Annie list, and this is my rough list at the moment. Favorite: One Piece, Vinland Saga, Fruits Basket, 86, Evangelion, Attack on Titan, Gintama, Bleach, and so on and so on. Like, I have a lot of favorites, but that would be my current rough top 10-ish. These. But I need to redo this list to make it more up to date because I haven't up to date it in a long time. How do I do a thumbnail for this kind of video? Okay, that's it. Thank you for joining. Bye.